The forex market is full of thorns. Alright, you know what I mean by thorns? It's full of traps that is ready and willing to eat your money. Alright, so whatsoever strategy I want to use to trade the forex market, just understand that there are different, traps being set for you to lose money. It's natural, and there's what you can do about it. You understand? So whatsoever strategy that I want to start using today, alright, even the one I'm going to teach you in this video, just know that you're going to lose money at some point. You're still going to make money at some point. But what matters at the end of the day is how you manage your losses and also how you also manage your wins. Because you might also be right in your analysis and your bias and you still lose money. It has happened to me several times, right? Which I've come over here to show you guys, my experiences. So basically, in this video, I'm going to show you guys what to do, all right, and how I analyze the market. So you can also use the same approach to also analyze your own charts, okay, and make money, all right. Now, another thing that I've learned so far in this my journey of trading is that the simpler it became to analyze your chart, the more chance you have to make that money, right? It sounds crazy because this particular forex, whenever you hear about it, is kind of being complex. So we see people that trade forex are people that are always sophisticated in knowledge, right? But then again, the more you simplify things right here, is the high chance you have in making money from this market. That's my own personal experience. All right, so if you can make analysis to be A, B, C, it's much easier for you, and you'll be seeing more opportunities, right, than when you start to complicate things just because you want to be perfect. At the end of the day, you make nothing from the chart. All right, so, and then again, before we go into this strategy, I want to teach you guys, just understand that whenever you're doing this particular forex market, will also take you years of experience. If I teach what I'm doing today, just know that you will learn it. That is the first part of it. And this video may not even be up to 10 minutes. So the lot I will teach you here within 10 minutes that are going to make you profitable if you don't go ahead and put in that work, put in that consistency in taking the trade, either go and back test or for test. The way I like to do, I like to for test, all right, so that I can be able to have that, build up my emotions and everything at the same time. That's something that I like about for testing, because if you are doing back testing, there is no emotions to it. You only have data. Do you understand? And the data is one thing. And another thing again is the emotion that comes with the trading, because that's another thing you need to talk about in another video entirely, right? So now I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how I trade. This has helped me to pass my profit account. Very simple trading approach, all right. And it also helped me to trade my small life account that I also used to pay my bills and the rest of them. All right, so let's go into it, guys. So the way I trade, I use the daily time frame to determine my bias for the day, all right, or probably for the week as well. But mainly what I use to determine my bias for the day is my daily candles. Sorry guys, this sun is kind of, I don't know, but I have to finish this video. All right, so now let's go into it and let me show you guys how I analyze this market. Okay, so like I said initially, my bias will come from the daily, all right, and also from my key points of interest in the higher time frame. All right, so now let me show you guys. Let me bring up my chart here to show you guys how everything. So as you can see here on the chart, what you can see is this market is coming from down to the up, all right, and it goes to a point, the market started to kind of range, which is at this supply zone. Market started to range here. Remember, this is a daily time frame, so market started to range at this supply zone. What you notice is that there's a couple of daily candles that struggles to break above that supply zone, right? What happens is that market started to close bearish, and remember the principle, all right, once daily candlestick closes below each other in a point of interest, not just anywhere randomly. Do you understand? In a point of interest, it might be a supply zone, resistance zone, demand zone, support zone, anything, flip zone, anything you want to call it, but it must be a very point of interest that is significant in the high time frame, right? And once you notify that, what you have to do is now start looking for sales, because for market to close below shows that the sellers are into that chart. Now, what I mean is very simple. If you look at this particular chart, you can see that market started closing below at some point right here. So let me zoom this so you can see clearly. All right, so if I should zoom it, you can see that market started to close below. Once you come to that supply zone, can you see start to close below, all right, the previous day candlestick. All right, that shows me that okay, the sellers are now into the market, and from here you can now start looking for your sales. Now, how do I look for my sales? It's very simple market structure shift, right? If it's going bullish, it needs to change to bearish, then you join. And I do this mostly on the 4 hour, because sometimes I trade as a day trader and also hold my trade as also as a swing trader. So I can take both of them. All right, I can be a day trader today and also be a swing trader at the same time, depending on how good the setup is, right? Now you can see that this market has about 1, 2, 3, 4, about 4 days bearish candlesticks, which can make a lot of money from this simple analysis. This is not complicate myself, it's very simple. You understand? That's how I trade. Now, you may be asking yourself that right now the market is also showing me a very massive bullish candlestick on Friday. So what is the reason why I'm seeing this thing? Why? If you look clearly by the left, you're going to see that this place is what we call fair value gap, where the market is trying to rebalance its inefficiency, right? And now the market has come to that zone. So clearly the market has now reacting at that fair value gap and has to give me this massive bullish candle that closes above the previous day. So for me now, going into next week, I'm looking for buys on this pair. To be fair, I'm looking for buys. Now, for me to take my buys, what do I have to do? I come to my lower time frame, which is my 4 hour. Now, look at how I do it. If you come to 4 hour now, so how do I pick up my entry? It's simple. I can use the fib strategy to pick up my entry, or I can use this normal price action. Now, as you can see here, the 4 hour already has this resistance zone. Very obvious. So what you have to do is simple. Wait for market to break above that resistance zone. You understand? Wait for market to break above it. From where it is now, break above it, come for a retest, then you join to this particular place. Or markets can easily pull back from where it is. You can pull back from where it is to this support zone here. If you see a nice price action on lower time frame, pick a buy here and continue buy. This does not mean as well the market cannot at some point decide to sell from where it is. It can decide to sell, but the only way you can start selling is when market breaks below this zone. You see below this zone here, then we catch on the pullback right here and sell down to the next support zone. Do you understand what I'm looking at now? So I'm going to give you different. That's how I trade. I give myself more probabilities, because this particular market is based on probabilities. I hope that makes sense. That's how basically I trade. It's this simple. Like, I don't do anything extra. It's this simple, guys. You just look for the daily time frame. But like I said, there's rules to this. It must be in a particular point of interest that we're going to look for all this, change, right? You not just come and do it anywhere in the market. It doesn't make sense. So you need to know where you are getting in, all right, and also where you are getting out. So that's how I trade. It's very simple. Daily time frame will tell me my buyers. Then I go down to the 4 hour, look for my entry, and I write the market down. So guys, I hope this kind of makes sense. I'm going to see you guys in my next upload, and until next time, guys, peace out.